Question says, Muhammad and Nubi from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I work in an environment where the Muslim employees are few in number and the office environment is very competitive, sometimes cutthroat. What advice do you have for the Muslims in such situations where office problems could lead to them falling out and abandoning one another for reasons related to worldly affairs?
Repeat the question, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I work in an environment where
The name
the name Muhammad and Nubi
from?
from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Type.
I work in an environment where the Muslim employees are few in number, and the office environment is very competitive, sometimes cutthroat. What advice do you have for the Muslims in such situations where office problems could lead to them falling out and abandoning one another for reasons related to worldly affairs?
طيب طيب خير inshallah. First and foremost, may Allah bless the questioner, brother Muhammad Nubi. We'll just stop there, as I'm sure that's the only thing he wants me to say right now. I don't think he would like me to say anything more than that. And a true friend should always understand what? His friend, the intention of the friend. So may Allah bless him, ameen, in both worlds. Allahumma ameen. My advice is for the Muslims to practice hikmah. Hikmah. And hikmah isn't restricted to just wisdom. It's not restricted to any one word, one translation. Hikmah means so many things. Sometimes it means to be wise. Sometimes it means to be smart, to be savvy, to be strategic. Sometimes it means to be smooth. Hikmah sometimes it means to be what? Quick. Fast. Sometimes hikmah means to be vicious. No doubt. Ruthless. Sometimes it means that when you have to do something in a proper way, the proper manner. Here it's time to strike. Here's time to retreat. Here's time to advise. Here's time to... There's no one meaning of the word hikmah. So that's my nasiha, is for the Muslims to use hikmah in this workplace. And that when it's an advantage for them to say something, they should say something. When it isn't an advantage, don't say that. Refrain. Only fight when it's what? An advantage. Retreat when you have to retreat. Fight when you have to fight. Nothing else should determine your movements in the workplace. It's a good thing to say this, then say this. Good thing to remain silent, don't say anything. Even though your nafs may want to say it. But it's not advantageous. It's not for the maslahah. Everybody understand this? And hikmah is to refrain. Hikmah is to move forward, even though I don't want to move forward. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to strike. I don't want to say nothing. But it's advantageous for me to what? To do so. This is an extreme, profound hikmah of life. Everybody clear on this? Okay, also realizing that if you're a minority in number and in religion, then you have odds against you. Somebody that's bigger and that's stronger. And you also have to use hikmah once more. You have to know how to maneuver as a minority. You have to learn how to stick together as a minority. You have to learn how to avoid petty arguing, petty disgruntled behavior among yourselves. Everybody understand this? You have to stick together to the best of what? To the best of your ability. You're already in a small number, a tiny number. So if you just split up into schisms groups, doesn't make any sense. And it's totally against hikmah once more. Also, it's for you to realize that the job is a means of rizq. And the rizq is not from you or from me. It's not from my degree, my expertise. It's only from Allah Azza wa Jal. So it makes no sense me fighting. It makes no sense me being cutthroat. It makes no sense me conniving and scratching and clawing to get your position, to get a raise. Nothing is going to come to us unless Allah Azza wa Jal has written it for us, as it states in the Quran. لَن يُصِيبَنَا. Nothing will afflict us إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. Except for that which Allah has what? Kataba, written for us. Huwa Mawlana. He is our Mawla, our protector, our Lord. He is our cherisher. Let the believers put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's no sense of fighting over the dunya. And the Prophet ﷺ tells us that a soul shall not die until it finishes its lifespan, until it finishes its rizq. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. Hadith says, so fear Allah and be moderate in your seeking of Allah's rizq. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. So rushing and fighting for the dunya is unwise. And nothing is going to come to you unless Allah what? Decreed it for you. Now you do have to strive, yes. You take a step. You make an effort. But you don't kill yourself in that effort, let alone do something haram, lie, steal, cheat, jealousy and envy. These things, with the heart of the Muslim, the akhlaq of the Muslim is like water and oil. They don't mix. There's no such thing as hasad. There's no such thing as greed and lust. There's no such thing as being a backstabber and you put your face on the ground 5 times a day. How do you even stab somebody in the back? And you say, La ilaha Muhammad Rasulullah for some dunya? That's the attribute and the characteristic of the munafiq, waliyadu billah. The munafiq who seeks things from the worldly life. So these things have to be avoided as a Muslim, let alone the fact that you are the minority. As Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah ta'ala and others used to say, تَرَفَّقُوا يَا أَهْلَ السُّنَّةِ فَإِنَّكُمْ أَقَلُّ النَّاسِ. In their times, they would say, be gentle, O Ahl Sunnah, because you are the minority from among the people. Some of the people now, let's say this, Hassan al-Basri said this in his time. He said, Ahl Sunnah أَقَلُّ النَّاسِ. In the time of Hassan al-Basri, who was a major tabi'i. What about nowadays? So the same applies to the Muslims. You are the minority. Be wise, be strong, stick together. And perhaps if you don't have the sabr to deal with the fitna, get another job. Refrain from these people. Stay away from these people. As Allah tells us about Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. As Allah tells us how he left his family. He made hijrah. He left these people. Everybody understand this? And others as well. Others as well in the Quran al-Kareem. So that's my nasiha, is to stick together, is not to fight, is not to scratch over a bone, a piece of fat on a bone. Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one who gives you the wealth, who gives you the money. And if it's too much, if the Muslims are too ignorant, if they want to be too selfish, too greedy, then remove yourself from that place. Even if you have to work around other non-Muslims, unfortunately, that may be better. They may be more professional. They may have better work ethics. The people will say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate, but that is a reality of life today. So that's my nasiha in brief. Wallahu ta'ala alam.